Hi, my name is Handuk Chung, and I'm the librarian for management and entrepreneurship at NC State. My job at the library is basically to work with people who are researching business topics and help them make the most of our collection. So as part of my job, I create guides, help select materials for the library collection, teach workshops, and make presentations like these. This presentation provides an overview of the variety of business information sources that are available at the library and on the web, including industry reports, company profiles, and some sources for demographic and lifestyle trends. The library buys, collects, and provides access to a lot of business information, including industry information. The government is a major producer of industry statistics and reports, and here's an example. The Statistical Abstracts of the United States, which is published annually online. This publication pulls together in one place the various statistics produced by a number of different government agencies, and it can be a great starting place for finding quantitative information. Many government publications are organized using industry classification systems like the SIC or NAICS codes, often called the NAICS codes. This excerpt from the NAICS code classification gives you a sense of what the system looks like and how it is structured. As you can see, numbers are used to indicate different types of industries. Similar or related industries are grouped together, and the length of the number indicates how specific or narrow the industry is. So why talk about these codes? Well, these codes are useful when you're trying to navigate the wealth of statistics produced by the government, but also they provide keywords you might use to describe your industry of interest and can help you search for more information in other sources. In fact, many databases specializing in business information have adopted these codes to help organize their own publications or reports. For example, the IBISWorld database provides market reports for all NAICS codes at the 5-digit level, which is pretty specific. It's often difficult to find information on any industry more specific than this without paying for those expensive market research reports advertised on the web, but more on that later. Here's an inside look at what these IBISWorld reports look like, and if you look at the table of contents, you can get a sense of the scope of each report, which includes an overview of a particular industry and key statistics for that sector. Trade associations or research institutes also are good sources of industry statistics or surveys of their members. For instance, the Beer Institute, whose website is pictured here, publishes the Brewer's Almanac in Excel form every year. Although this particular publication may be freely available online, many publications are often restricted to industry members or sold at cost. Libraries and individuals can go out and try to purchase individual publications, and we do in some cases, but we tend to buy stuff in bulk through aggregators that provide a database full of all sorts of information in various forms. Some databases aggregate just the useful bits from several trade or industry sources. For example, such an aggregator is the online version of the Market Share Reporter pictured here. Resources like these are available so that you don't have to look through individual publications yourself in order to find one table of statistics or business ranking. If you can't find information at the industry level, you may need to turn to researching similar companies that define the appropriate industry that you're interested in. Freely available company information is generally limited to publicly traded companies that must file financial statements with the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC. These financial statements can be audited, unlike the more glossy annual reports that you might find on a corporate website. The public source of this information is the EDGAR database, pictured here. While it is free to use, the search and functionality is somewhat limited. That's why many proprietary business databases draw from this source, but will build additional search options or include other types of value-added content. Some of these proprietary business databases are available through the library. A proprietary company database like Thomson ONE, pictured here, provides information beyond publicly traded U.S. companies and covers larger private companies and those from around the world. They also allow you to work with financial data in flexible ways, such as generating a list of companies matching a set of criteria or exporting select financial data points in spreadsheet format. Databases also might aggregate various types of information related to companies in one place. For instance, the LexisNexis Academic database pictured here provides not only company financials, but also industry news that might mention the company in a substantial way, as well as intellectual property filings with the United States Patents Office or legal filings if they have been involved in litigation. Standard & Poor's Net Advantage is a database specializing in financial markets and investing, and so presents company information relating to stocks and mutual funds. The last category of business information I'll talk about is marketing. Topics in marketing might include advertising and information about consumers, including demographics and social trends. A good public source of demographic information is the U.S. Census Bureau. Most, if not all, business information sources will draw on some aspect of census data. American Fact Finder, pictured here, is the official gateway for accessing this data. You can look up particular geographies and compare them to the national average. State-level government agencies will also provide a wealth of demographic and other types of data, so if your interest is related to local business, you might want to check the relevant state data agency for the range of information that they might provide. Another proprietary database that you can access through the library is SimplyMap, pictured here. This database is also a tool that enables you to plot or map demographic data. This can be very useful for analyzing data in a visual way or creating a chart to add to a report. In addition to demographic data, SimplyMap also contains business and market information for creating customized reports. Here's an example showing similar types of businesses in the North Carolina coastal region and where they are located. This example shows the location and concentrations of particular market segments at the county level. If you need actual numbers to work with, you can also make use of the Reports tab seen here. But sometimes data is not enough, and that's where articles on consumer research come in. One database that specializes in providing consumer market research reports is the Mintel database seen here. The reports in this database combine primary and secondary research about consumer products and trending lifestyles. This means that the authors of the report might look at other published research, but also go out and survey actual people to find out what they think and how they feel about various types of products and services. Now let's talk about market research. Information about the market size and trends for any given product or industry is not always straightforward, especially if you're trying to introduce a new kind of technology or innovative product or service. And markets can be defined in any number of ways, from a range of companies to various geodemographic segments. So if you're looking for things like market share or market size, you need to think critically and communicate clearly about how you're defining your market and what kinds of data you might be able to obtain. There are a lot of companies now providing market reports, and you may have already come across some that look like this on the web. While academic libraries may subscribe to a few major providers, often the most current reports are not available to colleges and universities. Or if they are available, the costs, which are targeted for large corporations, are too prohibitive for most libraries' budgets. For instance, we've already seen that our library has a subscription to IBISWorld, so you shouldn't need to go through a website like marketresearch.com. On the other hand, the library's collections may not include some of the really specialized custom reports that you might come across in the same place. Here's an example of something that our library does not have access to. Part of the reason why these market research reports are so expensive is that they do the work of compiling information from a lot of different sources, which themselves cost money to obtain. Then the information is analyzed and published as a report, which is then sold and distributed as a form of information product. So if you don't have access to the market research reports because they're too expensive, the next best thing you can do is go to some of the sources and compile the information yourself, using the resources that are available to you, including those at the library and on the web. If you want to take a closer look at these and related sources of business information, visit the Business Research Guide at www.lib.ncsu.edu/business. There you'll find links to more detailed tutorials, guides, and handouts. If you're having a hard time finding information on your particular topic, or would like a second look to recommend any sources that you may have missed, just get in touch with me and ask for a consultation.